Then the sports world was really affected by these protests as well. NFL, NBA, every major sports in the United States of America have taken
Can't hear
notice.
you. You went out, bro. You went out.
You said what?
You went in and out on your voice.
I say every sports league in the United States of America has taken notice to these protests. The NFL, who have we, as we know, famously blackballed Colin Kaepernick from the NFL, they released a statement today after multiple NFL stars did a Black Lives Matter video saying they will not be silent anymore and they will continue to speak on things that affect them and their community and their livelihood. So it's a lot of change, but it's also some ignorance, and that's when we transition to Drew Brees and his comments. Um, Drew Brees, he went on Yahoo Finance and said he will not. He said he will not. He doesn't respect anybody that will kneel during the national anthem. I believe was his comments. Am I correct, guys?
Yeah. Would never respect or accept or stand with something like that with somebody that disrespects the nation or the flag or something.
Yeah, and he cited how his grandparents fought in World War II and how the flag gives him so much pride that he won't respect anybody that kneels. Then, as soon as that video released, social media lit him up. LeBron James called him out. Michael Thomas called him out. Tyrann Mathieu, Steven Jackson, Ed Reed. Just the whole storm came, and he later apologized the next day and released a statement on Instagram and Twitter. Jace, I'm gonna start with you on this one. How you thought about Drew Brees' comments? I know this really hurt everybody, really anyone from New Orleans, because Drew Brees repped the city like no other person. We looked at him as family. So how did his comments affect you?
Well, I want to start off by saying that Drew's always thought like this. He's done it before. I think past years when everything started happening with Colin, but I feel like he set himself up for one. The reporter, whoever the guy was doing it, asked him the question. He set himself up. All Drew had to do was either say no comment or just go. Because at the end of his answer, he gave a respectable answer for the civil rights movement and all that type of stuff. But the beginning of the answer was just so like he just missed the whole mark. He just messed up, and especially at the timing that it is right now with the protesting and police brutality, all that type of stuff going on right now, he just asked for it. Honestly, if I'm gonna say that, he just asked for it, and I don't know if an apology will work for everybody. I mean, this man has been in my life for most of my life, watching him play for my favorite team. So his apology would probably work for me, but people that barely know Drew, especially not fans of Drew, stuff like that, yeah, they want to. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
There, good.
For me, like Jay said, it was very heartbreaking. You know what I'm saying? We grew up watching Drew Brees. Like, for me to get into college, they asked us to write a paper on the one person you're inspired by, one person you learned a lot from. And I picked Drew Brees like over LeBron at the time. And that was 2014, 13, somewhere in there. I wrote it. So like LeBron was like my favorite for what he was doing, but like for what Drew Brees did, because my thing was written about my city and like giving back to my city and my community and how I'm gonna try to change things. And if you look at Drew Brees kind of did that for New Orleans. He was kind of like the rebirth revival of New Orleans. Like, I know people say it's bigger than sports, but to New Orleans, the Saints meant everything that season. Like, some people from New Orleans might not like the Saints, but the way the city felt and the way the vibe was after he was there and after he won the Super Bowl and everything, it was like unmatched as far as like, because like when the Saints winning, it's like people don't really stress about much for the most part. It's like New Orleans is upbeat and like Louisiana is upbeat. So the closest feeling we had to that is this year's past with LSU. But I was disappointed, and he apologized, and I, like Jay said, he been felt like this. He said this 4 years ago when they asked him about kneeling, and he couldn't see it then. And the thing is, I did hold it against him. I was mad about that. But the crazy thing is, the players didn't say nothing either. They felt the same way as he did. Some of the people in the video that just dropped didn't kneel or do nothing about it either.
Back in 2016 when Cap was doing it.
Yeah, nobody said nothing. The only person that stood up with Cap was Eric Reed, Malcolm Jenkins, Kenny Stills. So it's not really that many people that was down with the cause for real. But I feel like now, 2020, people feel like it's a new year. People got time to reflect. People stuck in the house. You training at your house. You don't really go nowhere. You're not interacting with many people. So you got time to reflect. And you reflect and you realize, dang, this is all Kaepernick was doing. And then in Brees' case, oh, well, I don't care. I just don't want you to disrespect the flag. And that's like rock bottom. So for me, I don't necessarily accept his apology right now. I think he got to show me. Show me that you with the cause.
I agree.
Matt Ryan donated $500,000 today. Show me, do something like that. Speak with your wallet. Because, I mean, that's the only way you're going to prove it. I know you. Like, I know your money outside of family, your money probably the most important thing after that. So, speak with your wallet. You got the money. You got more money than Matt Ryan. You could do that. Because Matt didn't say nothing like that. And I respect that. You never heard him say nothing like that, even if he do feel that way. But it's better to just be quiet than speak negatively or in the like. Because people saying he's just giving his opinion. Well, if your opinion is against the movement, it's not an opinion. It's like against what everybody else got going on. And if you like against us, you ain't with us. And if you against us, like, you know what I'm saying, it's up. Like, we not
basically an enemy.
Right, you the enemy. And now everybody backpedaling. He backpedaled. Jake Fromm backpedaled. Roger Goodell backpedaled. Everybody on backpedal. But that don't prove nothing because everybody doing it because you don't want to look like a racist. So, go ahead.
Oh, I was about to say, I agree with what Shannon Sharp said earlier today. He was like, as the season begins to like pick up steam to come back, I think Josh Allen, what he did, draft day, gonna start come back and get him. Other
What he did.
It was, remember his stock dropped in the draft in 2017 because they released some racist post he had on his Twitter.
And I mean, Joe had a borderline racist post, but he was the first person to speak out. Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
he was the first person to say, "I don't understand what the issue is," and I doubt he even talked to the team before he made his statement. The Bengals, it looked like he just tweeted it because that's how he felt. And I think this last season, him probably playing with that LSU team and seeing how many black people who was on that team opened his eyes some. Like, his best friends on the team were Thaddeus Moss and Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, the reason he looked so well, you know what I'm saying, they helped him look good. So I think you play, and like they say, the NFL is 70% black. How you play with all the black people and then gonna come out and say something like that?
He treat it like a job, just go in.
Yeah, as I say, he probably plays and goes home about his business. He don't hang with them. And he older than everybody pretty much on the team. Drew, 41. Everybody else on the team, and the oldest person might be 35, 36. So you're in a black city, bro. You can't move like that. And that's what, you know what I'm saying, that's what kind of make it worse. So people that got beef with Drew Brees, that's fine. But most people that's coming out and talking a lot too, because we live in Atlanta, there's a lot of Saints haters. But it don't affect my team at all. I'm still cheering for my team. It's the New Orleans Saints, not the Drew Brees Saints. So with or without Drew, if this is last season or whatever, still my squad. That's another thing I want to say. People I hate them now, and I'm like, bro, okay.
DeMar.
Well, I think from the football perspective, the timing of Drew Brees saying something like this, with people already questioning what we had fans at the game. So now, in the light that he's received, that may not be as positive. You also look at how, I'm sorry, is it still going off?
You good?
Okay. How his linemen protect for him, how his teammates play around him. It'd be different. To me, it would still be negative, but it'd be different if he was a running back or a cornerback or something like that. He is a quarterback. He is the leader of a team, a leader of a city.
He's in the NFL record books. Like, everybody like people knock Drew Brees, but it wasn't just because of his personality. like because of the stats. But as a person, people really love Drew Brees. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you. But as far as the football aspect, I think regardless, Michael Thomas and people can say earned. We hear what we have to say. He spoke with us, but stuff like that until we see that chemistry on the field, and if it's just as good, I mean, now you have something that you have to work back on. You have to rebuild that chemistry, and the first sign of something going left, it could be drawn back to that. We're gonna hear it from media. We're gonna hear it from other teams, and so one of the biggest things I think in football, when you look at a player, is their character and how they respond to adversity. And this not only affects Drew Brees, but it'll affect the entire Saints team. So we'll just have to see how they move going forward.
What if I can just address something Damon said? Bruce, you referenced Shannon Sharp's 5-minute video earlier. I watched the same thing. I loved it just as much as you did, probably. How do y'all feel about Shannon Sharp's suggestion that, hey, bro, you should probably just hang it up because then maybe things won't be the same after this? Do y'all think that was a little bit too much for him to say that, or to what extent do y'all agree or disagree with that statement?
I'll go first. When it first happened, my mama said Drew Brees should retire because, like, and my mama, we love the Saints. Like that's our culture around. Like that's our family tradition. We love the Saints, and she said our best player in franchise history leads the league in all these awards and stats and record books. Just hang up the cleats because what he said was just poor timing. I think I agree with Shannon Sharp to an extent. I know they came out and said they had a team meeting with Sean Payton and everything. They accept his apology, but deep down they don't accept his apology for real. Cause like the mind you kept retweeting this Michael Jordan when he was like he said it then, but he, like I forgot what he said, but that's not his true intentions. Basically, that was the gist of it. If those were his true intentions, he would have said it from the jump. He wouldn't said nothing at all. So him retiring, I think that's very much in play. I don't think because let's say we start 0-2, and he's been playing poorly. Like DeMonte, the media gonna be eating that up, and he might hang it up like mid-season type of thing. Like he couldn't handle the pressure. Because just recently in New Orleans, like 2 days ago, they had a F Drew Brees chant going. So I think he lost the city, he lost the team, and he has to like Cuz said, he got to prove it. He got to prove it with his wallet, with his actions, and his terrible efforts. Because I don't think Drew is racist by any stretch of the imagination. I just think he's tone deaf, and he's just like stuck in his ways, like how old people are. Like the joke be like boomers, they stuck in their ways, they don't want to change. I think he's one of them. So yeah, that's what I got to say.
I'll go next. I feel like I don't think he should retire, but as Derek said, if his intentions are true on, hey, I want to show that, hey, I'm willing to understand where you guys are coming from. You don't just fall in with the rest of the crowd. You are one of these forefront leaders. You should be retweeting and posting on your story. I know celebrities don't do that as much as we do, but I haven't heard anything from him regarding the video that these players put out yesterday. I haven't heard anything from him today as far as Roger Goodell's video. Nothing. Now he's back under the curtain. So will we hear from Drew Brees again? Does he feel like him not saying anything is the solution? In my opinion, I don't think you can do that and move forward successfully. You have to be willing to. And I just want to say, when I read his statement, it just didn't sound sincere to me. It sounded like he was trying to defend his comments. And to me, the first step is acceptance and saying that you were wrong. And he still hasn't done that. So, like I said, I don't know the conversations that he's had with players like Michael Thomas, DeMario Davis behind closed doors. But until we are able to see him do something money-wise or media-wise, stepping up and saying, I'm wrong, then I think retiring may be the best option for him.
He's not going to.
Unfortunately, but if his health is
a question, I'm just saying, I know, like, he's not going to retire. He way too committed to the game to retire. So now is the time we got to kind of pick a side but he in a situation where he's not gonna lose his job unless he don't want it right now. Like this.
Well, the NFL is a never say never league, and I never thought I would hear something like this come out of his mouth. So
Yeah, but he's not gonna. The NFL won't. You're not gonna. You can't fire your leading passer in yards and touchdown. It won't. You can't make him not play. You can't make them feel a certain way. Richie Incognito in the league, and we know he racist.
yeah,
He's no Drew Brees. He not. I don't understand how he got a job at all. To be honest, but the NFL say they're gonna make it up. I really don't believe nothing they say. Like the difference, like it really came down to when the NFL started doing all this. A lot of black people stopped watching football. We did it because we love football. That's just what it came down to. We didn't really care about the race stuff. Like we knew what it was. It was like we watch football. All the other political and other social justice stuff we don't care about. But now it's like a time where if you on the wrong side of social justice, you will get blackballed. Basically, like you will feel it in your pockets for the most part. All 50 states having protests. So now is not the time to kind of straddle the fence. You got to pick a side. But Drew not going to retire. I don't think he should retire right now, but he needs to, like I said, put his money where his mouth is, or go protest, go do something.
I feel like he's not gonna retire because he's been our quarterback for like 13, 14 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And they've been through. If Drew retires, it's gonna be for a football reason. If the teammate chemistry not there, okay, then it might be his time for him to hang it up. But a football reason like him, like if like the Minnesota Miracle or the no call, I could see him retiring after something like that because that's a football reason. But something like this, there's a possibility, but I just don't see it happening. I don't see Drew going out like that. 13 years of me knowing him, I just don't see it happening.
I think this is last year regardless.
I agree, but Jace, like, did his comment shock you when he said that or no?
I mean, it shocked me that he said it on a interview. That would shock me. I was like, maybe like a tweet or something, maybe, but on the interview when it came out his mouth, yeah, that shocked me. Because I like Cut said, like when I said he said it before, like 4 years ago when Cap was like at its peak. So it didn't really shock me, but I was like, I just wish, and it shocked me about when it happened. The timing was just horrible. In the middle of all the protests and everything, it was just a horrible timing, and I knew it was gonna blow up. I knew everybody was gonna just,
My boy sent me the tweet, and I thought they was referencing the old one. So I was like, oh, I noticed already. But then I clicked on it, it said 2020. Yeah. Then it was a virtual interview. I was like, oh God, so damn. I don't know. It's just
I got so many text messages. Oh, this your quarterback. Like everybody know you. Like,
bro, got to get together, bro. I'm wishing him the best.
You do.
But it's you people don't understand, like growing up in Louisiana, being from Louisiana, and watching him as a kid. Like I don't think people get that aspect of it and how much he meant to a lot of people. Like football players in the league grew up watching Drew, Deion Jones and Caleb Vaughn, Chase on. Like we like the whole all the LSU players is from New Orleans. Like everybody if you're from Louisiana, you watch Drew Brees. Yeah. So I mean, and if you're not, you might watch him too. And I'm saying like that meant a lot to us. So like people talking about they heartbroken. I'm like, yeah, I'm heartbroken. Like that was tough to see, especially somebody you really thought was cool. You know what I'm saying? You thought he was, you know what I'm saying? I know how you feel about being patriotic and stuff. I understood that. I get that.
And we knew he was a Republican.
He don't listen. He not listening because it's like it has nothing to do with the flag or the military. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's disrespecting the military.
Right.
We actually respect the military more than we respect police officers if you listen. Some people don't respect the military because they don't believe in war. That's some people. But I don't have a problem with the military and people fighting for the country. That's never been a problem. We got family members that have served. I don't know too many people that don't have a family member that served, especially out the black community, because for some people, that's the only option after high school is to go to the military. They don't have no other options. Or trap. So, I mean, I'm just being real, though. That's what it is. Trap or go to the military. Or if you don't go to school, and most people out the hood not going to school.
Last thing before I switch the topic from Drew Brees. I forgot who tweeted this, but a journalist was like, "Isn't this the point that you should acknowledge the ignorance, then help him see the light rather than just tearing him down on social media?" Do y'all agree with that statement?
You can try to help him see the light, but he's 41 years old. Most people by that point, you can't really change how they think.
Yeah, that man has been in the black community for how long? Maybe not as, he's been around black people for long enough to where if you didn't develop that empathy in the community that you're in at your big age, you wasn't never going to figure it out. That's just how I personally feel. He's not like
New Orleans ain't never had like a real big case. I don't think that went forefront with the cops killing somebody, like except a rapper got killed like last week or something. But it was never too big with the police killing black people. Most New Orleans murders mostly be like black on black, crime in general. I'm not gonna say black on black crime. I was just talking to John about that. That's another thing I wanted to say while I'm on here, I guess, on this platform. I don't like the black on black crime. Crime is crime. So it shouldn't be black on black. We don't say white on white crime. We just say crime. So why don't we say black on black crime when it's just crime? I don't get that. It shouldn't be like, does it change crime on crime? And the point we was trying to make to like white on black crime, because it's like some police are held to a standard when they kill people, but white people will kill black people because they're black, which is like Ahmaud Arbery. Those weren't police officers. He was a former police officer and his son. Or like Trayvon Martin. He wasn't no damn police officer. He was just somebody that thought he was patrolling something. He wasn't no officer. But my favorite quote from the last 10 days is, "A ain't never killed a nigga for being a," and that's what I gotta feel. That's how I feel on that. And a white person probably ain't never killed a white person for being white. It's crime. Huh?
Carl.
Oh no, that jump went viral. I don't know who tweeted it first. But he never killed a nigga for being a. I was like, oh my God. That's the perfect way to say it. It's black though.
That's real.
Black people don't we don't kill each other for being black. That ain't the reason. It's probably something else. But it ain't that.
Yeah.
That's the issue.